Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. The goal with the position, as always, is to find something both sturdy and comfortable. You don't want to be uncomfortable during the practice because then you'll just be distracted by your body, which is unnecessary. If you find a comfortable position, you'll be able to sit for longer periods without worrying about how your body feels. You also want to find something sturdy because it's really a good assistance. It gives us a sense of groundedness when we're sturdy in our position, a sense of being here for this moment's sake, not to use this moment to get to the next one, just to be here and now. So sitting in a chair works well. It's also why a formal meditation posture exists. It achieves these goals, but just do what works for you. Find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice, but it's not really necessary. If you prefer to practice with your eyes closed, as I do sometimes, just close your eyes. It's no big deal. But if your eyes are open, leave the screen alone and drop your gaze gently down below you. Maybe looking at the floor or the desk or whatever is just below you. We're not staring at a spot in the floor and focusing on it, and we're also not zoned out and blurry. It's a gentle gaze directed softly and clearly downwards. You're in a comfortable and sturdy seated position. Your eyes are either closed or open, gaze directed softly yet clearly downwards. Begin to notice the sounds around you. Maybe it's the birds outside the window, or the sound of your cat walking on the hard surface. Maybe even the low hum of a refrigerator. Or the wind blowing trees outside. Just bring your attention to these sounds without naming or judging them. And don't go reaching for sounds either. Sit back and allow your ears to hear whatever they want to hear. Don't get involved. There are no good sounds or bad sounds. Just listen. And you may notice that there's a bit of a struggle going on here. Where once you start to notice sounds, all of a sudden you start thinking about work or what you're going to wear or that problem that hasn't gone away. You become distracted by thoughts. And it's okay, we all do. But when you notice that thoughts have come into your area and stolen your attention, don't do anything in particular. Don't push your thoughts away. Don't try to ignore them. Instead, allow them to come. Accept them as they are. And just gently and effortlessly return attention back to the sounds around you. And notice how thoughts will continue to come. And see if you can just regard thoughts as sound as well. Just part of the general hum and buzz of the world. Nothing special. Just more noise. And when you again notice that you're lost in some thought, planning something, gently step back and notice it as just another sound. And just begin again listening to the world around you, including thinking. Allowing everything to be exactly as it is. Thoughts, sounds, feelings, no demands, just allowing. Completely rest. All right, you can look at the screen. Sounds are a wonderful tool. In fact, every sense we have, which we separate by thinking, like sight, feeling, sound, taste, color. I guess color is part of sight, but even thoughts can all be used individually as methods of allowing our mind to just settle, of methods of seeing through our attachment to thinking. Because really what this practice is learning, especially in the beginning, to just leave our thoughts alone. We worship them as if they are the only thing that matter. They feel like really important to pay attention to. Like, I must think about this. And every problem we try to solve, we believe is solvable by thinking incessantly about it, which is why we mull things over. It's why we can't let go of things. And it's why we're stressed, because thinking is simply an overreaction to life. And sounds and all of our senses really are these wonderful, I don't want to say contacts because it makes it seem like there's two things. There's something, and then there's the world that makes contact with the world. But in reality, our senses are the world. They are not thoughts. That's a way to say it. Seeing right now as you look here isn't a thought. It's just. Same with sounds, sensations. They're not thoughts. We think about them later. We say, my sight, I see. But before you say, I see that, you're already seeing it. Before you say, I hear that, it's already being heard. And so we kind of roll back to the senses, roll back to this. Before we talk about it, before thoughts come up about it, it's just this. And when we learn to leave this world of name, form, which is thinking, when we learn to leave that more and more alone, our life becomes more secure here and now in the present. It becomes more confident and happy. The mind just orients towards well-being when we learn to just leave our thoughts alone. Now, thinking is necessary sometimes, but the amount we think, the amount we mull things over, and the more you practice, you'll see how utterly useless and unnecessary most of our thinking is, and how it just creates problems. So this is what I wanted to show you today, is that although most of the times during our daily practice we bring our attention to breathing, breathing is just one sense. It's just one corporal thing that can be noticed that's pretty easy to notice, but you can also bring your attention to sounds. You can also bring your attention to the nose, eyes, everything. And when you get really good, you can notice all senses at once, as if it is one happening, including thoughts. So just practice. You really want to learn to leave thinking alone. It is really and truly the most, I always say it's the only thing worth doing. There's a lot of things worth doing, but it's the most important thing worth doing. Because it allows us to live life in a clear way, one that is not bound by incessant thinking. So remember your senses. They could be your teachers. Thank you for your time today. And as always, and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.